Next, let's queer up politics. Who can blame Miami Ivanka as she and 100 GOP billionaires dump the Donald? Donald appeals bond was reduced today from $454 to $175 million, and he has 10 days to pay it. But that doesn't matter to Ivanka and a long list of GOP donor billionaires. Ivanka no longer uses Trump as her last name. Ivanka Kushner appears unwilling to financially assist her father amid his ongoing legal battles. Despite Donald Trump's desperate need for cash to post bond and avoid state seizure of his assets, Ivanka seems uninterested in coming to his rescue. Billionaire Ivanka Kushner is dumping Daddy Donald when he needs her the most. And according to People, she has distanced herself from the family's toxic reputation and has no intention of entering the political arena. This may come as a shock to Donald, who once publicly admired his daughter's attractiveness in a very awkward way. Ivanka's absence from her father's side is notable, especially considering her previous status as his favorite child and her influential role as a White House advisor. While Trump scrambles to comply with a judgment against him in a fraud case, Ivanka continues to live her best life, indulging in celebrity social events and luxurious experiences. Despite her considerable wealth, estimated at just over $1 billion alongside her husband Jared Kushner, Ivanka's assets may not be readily convertible to cash, given their ties to real estate and other property. Ivanka's reluctance to intervene with her father's legal woes underscores her desire to distance herself from him and prioritize her happiness. More than 100 billionaires have heavily donated to conservative political candidates who appear not to be interested in bailing out Donald Trump. Well, I think every kid has their limit when they're like, okay, enough's enough. You're a dad, but you're also over there. You're a person, and I don't want to be you anymore. I'm not a little you. I'm not a little me. She's going to have her own identity, and she's done a nice job of it. I think she actually has conducted most of her recent activities with some grace, and I say good for her. Sometimes enough is enough. Put a line in the sand, walk away from daddy. Good for you.
Do you think that people will forgive her?
No.
Like forget about the past, because she was very comfortable as being Trump's favorite child. Everybody just expected her to go and, throw her hat in the ring for some kind of C office.
Darling,
you gets no love over here, honey.
No,
you get
well, and the thing is that she's always down here, folks. So my wife saw her at an autism walk, right? And she was undercover, like in a hat with a T-shirt, very not fabulous, Ivanka. And she's doing a lot more of that down here.
I don't know how much grace you can give to a billionaire.
Well, also someone who got all those licenses from China to manufacture and sell their stuff to make more billions without paying taxes. It's really, really questionable. And her husband got $2 billion from the Saudi government after they cut up a journalist and put him in suitcases and carried him out. They have not apologized for what they've done.
Wow.
And they have not handed over the cash to the number of organizations and communities that were ripped off by the actions of the administration that they served diligently and took orders and carried them out one after the other. They're clearly trying to rehab themselves, which they will do and America will forget because that's what Americans do best. But the reality is that when the history books are written, the footnotes that will go by their names will not be good.
Yeah.
I don't want to begrudge anyone for having a skill that they've grown. And families pass on their values from parent to child, grandparent to parent to child, on and on and on. It's why we create generational values. Generational wealth is a byproduct. And if you were to go back, I would like to know, can you name your great-grandparent, for example? The answer for most of us is no. That's because they didn't leave us anything. I don't begrudge people for having enterprising parents who actually learn how to work the monetary system that our country allows all of us to do to create a legacy. I'm not endorsing anybody in particular in this. I'm just saying, for example, so hating someone who's a billionaire, Oprah's a billionaire.
Yeah, I don't like her either.
You have
no one is safe.
No one is. Baby, there's no safety.
But
the point is, it's not the fact that they have money that makes them a good or bad person. Money just makes you more of who you
It's how
are.
they
Are you
attained
good
it.
or bad? And that is,
It's how they attained it. And we already know how billionaires in this country attain their wealth, including Oprah. Lest we not forget the Hawaii wildfires that just happened. And people, and like you said, to your point, Americans forget so easily. I don't. I have the memory of an elephant, baby. It sits over here. I know how you attained your wealth. Even Beyonce, I come for her, and that's my girl, you know? Like, I come for the Carters. You know, we have these conversations.
Yeah.
And Ivanka, honey, girl, she been on the shit list for a long time, and she gonna stay there.
And the Trumps didn't, certainly Donald Trump and Ivanka Trump and Don Jr. and Eric, didn't attain their money because they did things properly or ethically or morally.
they did it with strategy.
And neither did
No,
their
they didn't. They
grandfather.
did it by stealing.
By stealing.
And
By
neither did their
stealing.
grandfather.
That's not
Strategy.
stealing is not a strategy.
And
No,
neither
at all.
did their
At all.
Stealing is not a
Have
strategy.
you seen Ocean's 11?
It's not
They
a
planned it out, right?
Yeah.
That was a strategy.
Yeah.
The
It's
Trumps
nothing-
did not plan it out.
I'm
They
not disagreeing with you.
manipulated.
This is not, this not, I'm not, again,
It's
I wasn't
just-
pointing out any individual family.
Right, but
I
it's
am
just,
pointing out.
but there is an ethics and morality question.
I agree.
Yeah.
And there are people who did it better than others, and they
agree.
stole, and they destroyed this country. And the legacy that they will have, maybe this coming November, our democracy. I don't think that's anything that we can put an equality base that this person became a billionaire and this one, and we should say, great, they used the system properly. The system is broken. It should be fixed. It should not be celebrated.